Hello everyone, Elisa Robinson here from the Contra Costa Resource Conservation District, and thank you for joining us for our Coastal Cleanup Day video series. Today I'm here to talk to you about recycling. Yes, again, this is just a quick refresher on things that we do know about recycling, things that we should know, and things that we should have known. So here we go. First, let's cover the basics of recycling. Reduce, reuse, recycle, rot, and rethink. The first three should be pretty familiar. We've heard these for years. Reduce the amount of trash going into our landfills. Reuse items rather than throwing them away. Recycle, we'll go into that in our next slide. When we talk about rot, we're talking about composting. You can take your kitchen and yard waste and use them to create healthier soil in your yard, or you can participate in your municipality's curbside green waste program. Rethink is another item that we're going to cover later on in this presentation. There are a number of waste collection service providers in Contra Costa County. Check with your local provider for guidelines on what is recyclable and what is not. These guidelines are from our public services and offer a good base to build from. And please remember that when placing items in your recycling bin, they should be empty, clean, and dry. Now it's time for us to get some practice. Here are some common yet tricky items that you might run across. This will be short since we have a limited amount of time, but please explore this topic more on your own, because the only way that we will improve is through practice. We have the three basic curbside bins: recycling, green waste, and trash. In the recycling bin, we put things like paper, plastics, glass, and metal. In the green waste, we have our organics, like fruits and veggies, dairy, bread, meat and seafood, food soiled paper, and yard trimmings. And finally, we have our trash bin, which we want to use as little as possible, and it takes pretty much everything else. So now we have our contenders, our items that we'll be sorting: pizza, plastic bags, straws, and styrofoam. First up, styrofoam. That's right, not recyclable, not compostable. That's going to the landfill, where it will not break down for, we're not exactly sure. Some estimates say 500 years, but only time will tell. Next, we have plastic straws. A nice convenient item that I think we've all used, but another one that isn't recyclable or compostable. So it's going to the landfill as well. It is estimated that plastic straws take about 200 years to break down. Now, how about plastic bags? If you guessed recyclable, you're right, but you have to have your plastic bags in another plastic bag. So once you have your plastic bag full of plastic bags, you can recycle that. Or you can move away from plastic bags altogether and jump on the reusable bag train. How about our pizza? There are many components to a pizza, and whether they're recyclable, compostable, or going to the landfill. So first, let's start with the pizza itself. If you have leftover pizza, which I don't know how, but if you do and you're throwing it away, that could go in green waste. Next up, the box. Look at the top. Is there grease on it? If not, that can go in your recycling. The bottom, if there's grease on it, that goes in the trash and goes to your landfill. Over the last few years, we've come to the disheartening realization that our recycling system is broken. We believed for decades that plastic recycling was an effective way to deal with the waste that our society generates. Recently, it's come to light that the reality of recycling in the U.S. does not match that promise. According to a recent NPR article, making new plastic out of oil is cheaper and easier than making it out of plastic trash. Behind the scenes, most of our plastic was being put in landfills. It's time to rethink what we buy, our packaging, and how these conveniences impact our world. Is it worth it?